Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I have such a special, I've already unboxed it, but I'm so excited to share this with you. A while back, I actually did unbox this knife, and I did not own that. That knife did not belong to me. That was a knife that I was not familiar with at all. It was a complete and total surprise. It was absolutely amazing, and I said in the video, I must have this. I need to have this in my collection. They would not let me buy that one. But I did finally get an opportunity to acquire one of these. Thank you so much to Poikilo. I did have to wait a long time, which I was happy to do, but this knife is finally here. And as promised, I am updating you with this. Can't wait to show it to you guys. And also, I can't wait to finally review it because this has a lot of really interesting details, a lot of details that I'm not actually clear on. But I don't know if this is available in any form at the moment. I think possibly in the future they will have some more of these. I don't know. I will put relevant links down in the description so that you guys can at least go and check out other Poikilo knives and listings for this if available on their website. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. We're going to put on my nasty, gross glove that sort of lives in the same area that I store some of like the break-free CLP, which is not a good place to store this knife this glove because it starts to discolor, and it also has a hole in it. It's also not the right type of glove for handling stuff like this, with the goal of keeping fingerprints off of it, not because the thing is delicate. Today's video, by the way, is not a review at all. We're just taking a look at something that I've been very excited about. So let's put that right there. Oh, we got is peeking out of the side. I want you guys to, I want to show you guys this right here, which is what it comes with. This is the Cyberkuza Midtech. It's M398, and the blade finish is mirror stonewashed DLC. Handle material is DLC titanium, and then also zirconia. This one was born in September of 2025. This is an absolutely stunning Cyberkuza. Something that I brought up on the live stream, some of you actually did get to see this knife in a recent live stream, is that this zirconia scale, especially on the front, is extremely zirconium heavy. The anodized titanium you can see, but the zirconium is very, very prominent. On the other side, we have a little bit more color, right? Kind of appreciate that. In materials like zirconia, you're going to get something different every single time. This is very, very zirconium chunky zirconia, especially on the front, giving it an aesthetic that I have never really seen before. Something else that's cool about the Cyberkuza is because of the way that this is milled. Normally, I don't like big holes, but because of the way that this is done, the holes allow for the bevels here in the zirconia, which is awesome. And then you can see the DLC titanium underneath, creating sort of a shadow box situation. And then further down there, you can see the polished DLC blade. Let's go ahead and get that out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love high polished DLC. I absolutely love it. And I think that it looks incredible when we are when it's being contrasted with, I'm getting that, what's probably my spit off of the edge there. We'll have to clean that off here in a second. But I love the super reflectivity of high polished DLC, and I love how it looks in combination with zirconia. I think it just looks spectacular. This locking system, this is, by the way, a collaboration between Task and Poikilo. But this locking system is different than most other locking systems that I've seen. I mean, like, it's still like a tab sliding into place. You can see where it connects right there. But the way that it moves is actually horizontal, which is, it's not exactly the same as like, I mean, it's not at all the same as like you see your crossbar lock here. This slides into place. It slides forward and utilizes omega springs. This slides this way behind this tab here, making this system, I would guess, pretty strong. I don't know all the ins and outs of this system, and I do still plan to study it before I actually do the review, but I thought I wanted to wait until I actually had my own to do this review here, because I knew I really wanted it. It creates for an extremely unique sound on deployment, very different than any other knife that I have handled. It's a totally different feeling on deployment, totally different sound, all of that. This is a colossal knife, right? Certainly, a knife that can be used. It's not a delicate knife. It's not made in a way that's like, oh, you can't use it. No, the edge is sharp. It has a nice heat treat on it. And it is something that can fold, and it even has a pocket clip, right? But obviously, this particular version is really over the top and definitely more geared towards the enthusiast part of the knife community, the collector part of the knife community, right? This is not a knife that I plan to carry, not at all. So when I do the review, it'll mostly just be the information about, the knife itself, the mechanisms, things like that. But I am just beside myself. I am so pleased to own this. It is such a wild thing. Some of you might be looking at this part here and wondering, are the inlays like sticking out? No, it's actually machined that way intentionally because this part of the knife starts to angle down. So this piece right here is perfectly straight. Actually, no, I'm wrong. The scales underneath are straight, and this is machined upwards at an angle so that it lips out. I was convinced that it was actually the scales that angled down. No, these pieces actually come up. That's wild. Even here, though, I'm second guessing myself. I wonder if it's a combination of two. You tell me what you think is happening. I think it looks like the scales start thin, widen out, and then come back down. But it also appears that this inlay material, the zircotite, actually starts thin and may actually widen out here, so that it creates this, this sort of visual effect there. But I'm not sure exactly what's happening. It might be a little bit of both. Absolutely insane. Some of these just discolorations here are just areas that need to be wiped down. But a phenomenal knife, and absolutely something that fits right in with a lot of the really crazy stuff that I like. As far as, collection pieces, there is some rhyme and rhythm to the stuff that I collect. And then again, there are certain pieces that indicate that I have a completely different taste for certain things, right? So this goes right along with a lot of the other really flashy, crazy exotic material, non-orthodox shaped knives, right? This fits right in with a lot of that stuff. And I think the first time I handled it, I knew it absolutely has to be something that I have in my collection. Very, very cool. The base price of these knives, like the standard versions, which they do make a standard version. This is the Midtech version. And so basically they do a lot of the polishing and sharpening, and they do a lot of this stuff by hand, which is not typical of their standard introductory level stuff. The standard version of this knife is about $500. You can find listings that, they're sold out listings, but I found some on NC Blade. The least expensive version that I saw was $500. It's possible that they did make a version that was a little less, but I have to imagine that there's quite a bit involved with this. Until I know everything that's involved, it's really hard for me to actually comment on the price tag. That's obviously a lot of money for a knife that is manufactured in China, versus what we typically see in the production end of the knife world. But there are definitely Chinese knives that have enough work in them that can justify that. Really just depends on what I find out about this. But yeah, this one in particular, it was kind of a situation where I thought it doesn't really matter how valuable it is. This is something that I'm going to acquire, definitely. So super excited about this. Thank you so much to Poikilo. I was more than happy to wait, but I can't wait to actually review this one. So real quick here, let's go ahead and, just because I can't remember if I did this in the original video, but let's go ahead and measure it. 9.5 inches, huge knife. Blade length, I'm going to call it 4 1/4. You could measure it back here at 4.5. I'm going to say 4 1/4. And then your cutting edge is also, it's like 4 1/8. This is a huge knife. And then also, I think some people might be curious about the weight. Obviously, the standard version of this is not going to weigh quite as much because there is quite a bit of zirconium in these scales, enough to make it different. So the weight on this guy coming in at 9.6 ounces, which is wild. 9.6, 9.7 ounces. Maybe it said 9.7 the first time. I just didn't realize it. Very cool. An absolutely amazing knife. Task and Poikilo did such a good job with this. Very cool. That's going to be it from me today, guys. Thanks so much for letting me share my latest acquisition with you. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.